now we're going to show you how to insert your sleeves. So there's only one sleeve for each side. So you've got a front and a back and a right and a wrong side. So if the sleeve isn't the right one for this side, but we'll need the other sleeve. So you want to put your sleeves right side spacing. So right side to right side. And you want to check. So I've got a double notch here, a single one there. But on the sleeve, I've got a double one here and a single one there. So this is actually the sleeve for the other side. So if I get this sleeve, I put it right side spacing. I've got a double notch there, a single notch there. So this bit is quite tricky to pin because you're trying to insert a piece of fabric that shape into a piece of fabric this shape. So you'll need quite a lot of easing to get it in. So I'm going to line up the notch at the top of the sleeve with my shoulder seam here. So line those up. Then I'm going to line up the double notch on the sleeve with the double notch and the armhole. Again, for this, if you can put your pin so that the head of the pin is on the side of the raw edge, it'll make it much easier to take out when you sew in later on. Then I'm going to line up the bottom of the sleeve with the underarm seam. There we go. I'm going to come to the other side. Line my single notch. There it is. Going to line it up with my single notch here. Then I'm going to line up the bottom of the sleeve with where the underarm seam is going to go. Just here. So you'll see there is quite a lot of easing to do here. Under the arm isn't too bad. That looks like that's going to go in fine. But here there looks like there's quite a lot. Now because we're stripe matching, we're not going to be able to match every single stripe. So normally you want to match 1 or 2 stripes in the middle of the shoulder seam. So I think the way the fabric is, my best bet is going to be to line up these 2 here. So visually this is the front of my top. So if we have 2 lining up in the middle of the sleeve, that's going to give the best impact. So I'm going to line up at the bottom of the stripe so I can make sure it's lined up perfectly. So I'm putting my pin through the bottom of the stripe, checking it's going through exactly in the same place on the stripe on all the pieces. And then it needs a bit of gentle ease in here. And then for this second stripe, I'm going to go through the top stripe, through the stripe on the bottom piece, come back through the stripe, almost threading the fabric on your pin to line it all up. And then here, I'm going to ease the sleeve head in. So I'll just pin this bit and then I'll show you what I've done. So this is the front of the sleeve. So this is the underarm and then it comes here, and I've made sure that this stripe here and this stripe here, I've put the pin through so it's on the bottom of the stripe on both of them. So when you look at him, these two will be lined up, the rest won't, but it will give the effect of stripe matching on the front. So I'm going to repeat that process on the back of the sleeve and the sleeve for the opposite side of the garment. Both sides of the shoulder are now pinned. I'm going to go ahead and sew them together on my sewing machine. I'm going to get as close as I can to the pin and then take it out, particularly on these bits where I'm stripe matching. So check my machine's on the right setting. I'm not going to start from the very edge so it doesn't chew it. I'll come back and finish that bit off in a little bit. So as you sew in, it's really important to keep lifting the fabric up and smoothing it, because you kind of creating a little mountain that goes on the top of your shoulder in the fabric. So you want to make sure that you're smoothing it out so you don't get any tucks as you go. So needle down, pin out, feeling with my fingers for any tucks in the fabric. There aren't any, so I'm going to go ahead. Feel a little bit of a tuck here and the seam has rolled underneath, so I'm just going to hold that flat with my fingers. So when you get to the shoulder, there will be tucks here, so you just have to keep smoothing as you go and doing it in lots of short sections rather than in one long piece. So this seam does want to roll underneath, so I'm having to keep stopping it. So my pin has slipped out on the ones that I've stripe matched, of course it has, so I'm just kind of having to do it under the machine, which is a bit frustrating, but hopefully it'll still work out. So I've got really close and then I'm taking the pin out without actually sewing over the pin. Okay, moment of truth. Is it stripe matched? Oh, yes, even though the pin slid out, I did manage to still put it in place. And as long as these two in the middle are stripe matched, I don't, if I turn it that way, it might be easy to see. So this is the front. as long as these two in the middle are stripe matched, I don't think, once you get up here, I don't think it matters because your eye will kind of go across the top like that. So I'm pleased with how that's turned out. I'm going to go ahead and sew the other side now.